Hey Van Heist, welcome back to another week of virtual art with me, Mr. Lynch. This week I'm coming to you from the Van Heist Art Room. So, what we're going to be doing this week for our art project is we're going to be getting outside and we're going to be finding some materials. We're going to take a look at some textures that we find from outside, the way things look and feel, and we're going to think about how we could turn those into a picture. Now last week we were talking about creating textures using our eraser. We were doing subtractive art, taking material off of the paper. This time around we're going to be taking things from outside and putting them onto paper. For some inspiration for this project, I want us to look at the artwork of artist Reiku Inoue. Now this artist takes things from outside and he rearranges the objects to look like animals. You may have noticed how sometimes the texture on a leaf or a helicopter seed pod or a pine cone sort of resembles a similar texture that you might find on an insect or an animal. This artist takes these things from outside and he puts them together in such a way to look just like an insect. I thought this would be a pretty cool project to try on our own. So let's go outside, find some materials, and get started on our very own texture, outdoor, object, found art, recreation project. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first, for this project, you need to go outside and find some specimens, find some things that we could use today to create our animal forms and textures with natural objects. So we are looking for leaves, sticks, flowers, plant life, anything that you think has an interesting texture, grab several of those and bring them on in. So let's see what I find today. Okay, so you can see that I have collected a whole bunch of outdoor specimens that I think have interesting textures and really great color. I'm going to start by just playing around with these. What kind of things remind me of things I might find on an animal? Like these two leaves that I found, these could be ears, like on a bunny. They could be wings, like on a dragonfly. They could even be legs on a frog. So I'm gonna find a surface to work on. For this project, if you wanna use paper, you could use paper. If you wanna use cardboard, you could use cardboard. Really some kind of surface just to play around and put some of these kinds of objects together. So I am gonna use a scrap of cardboard that I found today. So I'm gonna move some of my things aside. I'm gonna place my cardboard right here in the middle so you can see the whole thing. And let's just see what I can create. So, one of the first leaves that really caught my eyes was this one right here. There's a lot of different colors going on here. I really like the shape of this one. I think I'm gonna make some sort of beetle out of this one. So I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm actually gonna just snip off the seed right there, or I guess that's the stem, but I'm actually gonna wanna keep that. Now, if you want to use this surface as a permanent area to keep your pieces, you can certainly get some glue involved. You could try glue stick. I'm not sure that's gonna work the best. I think squeeze glue would be the best for this project. So if you want to keep these things all together, you can, or if you wanna save this space just to play around and move things, you certainly can. So if I'm making some sort of beetle, my beetle needs to have, well, first of all, my beetle probably needs to have some antennas. So I'm gonna find a long piece of a stem like this plant right here. I'm gonna take this stem, I'm gonna fold it in half like this. Just like that. And now I'm gonna tuck this underneath this leaf. So now my beetle officially has some antennas. Okay, so I want my beetle to have some wings coming off of its body. So maybe I'll take this leaf right here and I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit, maybe right about there. And now I'm gonna cut it in half to make some wings. I want my beetle to have some legs too. So I'm actually gonna take a few of these leaves, and I'm gonna pluck them off. Cool. All right, that looks like beetle number 1. That's my first creature. Now, for my next creature, I think I wanna work with something more rounder. So I'm gonna use this nice leaf that I found outside. I'm gonna actually chop the stem off with my scissors. Snip. I'm gonna use this as the basis for my next creature. Now, I'm seeing that it looks really big and really green. It kind of reminds me of a frog. So I'm gonna try my best to turn this into a frog. Okay, so my frog is completed. I'm just gonna play around with a few more of these materials and see what I come up with. All right, well here I've got a really lovely display of a different outdoor textural plant life created critters. I've got my beetle with the wings. I have my frog with the big red eyes. I created, I think this was supposed to be like a centipede, and then I've got my butterfly, and this right here is a snake. I can't wait to see what you can create using the things that you find outside. Again, if you want these things to stick, make sure to use a little bit of Elmer's glue. But if you'd rather just make a little display and then take a picture, then return the items to nature, that's okay too. Thanks so much for watching, Van Heist, and send me a photo on Seesaw of what you create. See you next time.